So to kick us off today and to get us started, we are going to bring up the awesome Mrs. Ahern, who is going to talk about Josephine Thomas. Come on down.
Good morning. I am Mrs. Ahern in the Physical Education Welfare Department, and this is Josephine. I have had Josephine twice now in CrossFit and Advanced CrossFit. Did I get that right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I thought so. So it's been really fun to see her grow and mature over the last couple of years. But specifically, in regards to True Wildcat, she just stands out to me because she does everything to the best of her ability. Doesn't matter if she's great at it or not so great at it. Like anytime I turn to look at her, she is doing what she needs to do. She is on task and she is putting in the effort and the work. And on top of that, she's constantly coming up to me like, hey, what should I do about this? This isn't working. How can I scale this? Where can I modify this? She's very independent of her own learning, and that's something that we strive to get out of our students. And it just comes really naturally to her. Like anytime she's coming up to me, I'm excited to hear what she's about to ask me. She's like challenges me as a teacher, like, I don't know, let me think about that for a second. Like, and I love that. She also is just this kind, like accepting of all, respectful student. She's like that kind of kid that, like, I hope my own daughter comes out to be.
I don't know if any of you have ever done CrossFit, but I participate in classes, and I dread when I see CrossFit on my schedule because I know Miss Ahern is going to kick my butt, and within like 5 minutes, I'm like ready to pass out. So for Josephine to be so eager to do that, that tells you she is a workout machine. Awesome. All right, we'll keep it rolling, and we will bring up the amazing Ms. Bosman to talk about Callie Layton.
Hi, I'm so sorry, I might keep it a little short, but this is Callie. Callie's in my AP Psychology class. She started off the year in my regular psychology class and demonstrated a passion and a very deep understanding of content. Came to me within the first 6 weeks and said, I want more, so we figured out a way to change her schedule around a little bit and give her like the more advanced curriculum and advanced experience. She like never faltered at all, and now she's in the second period class. She is always asking inquisitive questions, demonstrates a really complex, deep understanding of the material. I can always rely on her to answer my questions, which is really nice. And we have a nice mix of sophomores and seniors. In AP Psychology, which is a unique blend, but she is a friend to all of them. Whenever we mix up the tables, she is always, communicating with everyone, and really just is one of those students that makes the entire class community better. So, this is Kathy.
Now, I know many of you are thinking that Miss Bosman lost her voice coaching water polo, but that's not it. The AP exam is next week, and she has been furiously reviewing with her students, so she has lost her voice. And Callie, just remember, when in doubt on an AP Psych exam, just write Freud. You will be good to go. No trouble there. All right, we'll keep it rolling, and we will bring up the wonderful Mr. Wysork to talk about Nathaniel Herman.
Happy Friday. So I've had the joy of having Nathaniel in my AP Calculus class this year. He is a calculus rock star. I also learned he's a ping pong rock star as well. Coding cats. So he does it all. And I just learned recently that he's going to major in creative writing as well and computer science. So round of applause for him. He does it all. So very well-rounded student. And I think the main reason I nominated him for the True Wildcat Award this month is he's always just brings the most positive energy into the classroom, and he always has a smile on his face when he walks in every day to do calculus. Can many of us think about a smile on our face walking in to do calculus every day? He's always ready to take a derivative or calculate an integral. So I appreciate your positivity and your optimism that you bring into the classroom every day. He also always is willing to help his classmates out whenever we are presented with a challenging problem. I'll put something on the board and say, okay, go. And a lot of kids just sit there and they're like, ugh. And Nathaniel's like, okay, so here we go. Step one, we're gonna do this, 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 and this. And he'll like look at someone's paper and just go around and help them out. And so you're always willing to not just get it done as quickly as you can. You're always willing to just go around and actually help your group and make sure everybody's on board. So I really appreciate that so that nobody's left behind. I think you even came in one morning before school, and I thought you had questions, and I went over to you and I said, okay, what do you want to work on? He's like, oh no, I'm just helping everybody else. I'm like, you came in before school to do calculus at 7:30 in the morning just to help your peers. Like, what? So anyway, so that I think speaks volumes to your willingness to help other people. So I think that's going to be something that you carry through in life, I think we can say. I have a funny story to tell. This was another great one. So I'm going to embarrass you just a little bit. So we were taking a really, really challenging exam. It was our last unit of the year. It was on power series and Taylor series and all this fun stuff. And there was a challenging portion of a free response question, and most of my students, when they got done with it, were like, oof, and they walked out of the room, and I'm like, I kind of felt bad. And Nathaniel, this is the best comment. He looks at the test, and he's like, that was very satisfying. And it just completely took me out. Like, nobody else had that reaction. Everyone was just like, I'm like, have a great day, bye. I'm like, okay. And he's got this smile on his face, and he's like, that was very satisfying. And I'm like, what like finishing the test? He's like, no, part B. I'm like, that was the hardest part. And like, I don't think you got it right, but like, no, I don't think anybody got it right. Nobody got it right, but it was just the best reaction to a problem. I'm like, oh my gosh, he actually enjoys doing this and loves the challenge. And I think you even said, I'm gonna go home and think about this. This happened again, mind you, this happened again 2 weeks later. We had a review quiz we were doing for the AP test. There was another hard problem, and you're like, that was exciting. And I'm like, and I literally started my draft for this award, and I'm like, okay, draft for emails, satisfying, exciting. Let's add to the list. So anyway, I think that shows that even in the face of like challenge and even in the face of something that might be frustrating, you can spin it and you can take it home and you can actually say, oh no, I'm gonna go think about this. I'm gonna knock this AP test out of the park. So, high five. That was awesome. So that's kind of my comments, I think. And also, Miss Elmore has had the pleasure of having Nathaniel in computer science for 3 years. I've only, unfortunately, had you for 1 year, but she's had you for 3 years, and so I have something that she wrote that I was just gonna read because she wanted me to share. So, Miss Elmore's had Nathaniel in computer science the past 3 years and had the following feedback to provide. Nathaniel demonstrates incredible creativity, and she can always count on him to step up when needed. He is generous with his time in helping classmates in need. In addition, he was the creative genius behind an escape room activity for the Coding Cats Club, which made this an even more enjoyable experience for the other club members. Furthermore, one time when a Coding Cats activity fell through, Nathaniel even stepped up at the last minute to teach a lesson about, you tell me if I'm saying this right, Perlin noise?
Yes.
Okay, you'll have to tell me about that later. A concept that he had been studying on his own, so it wasn't even something they were looking at in class. Nathaniel possesses a unique set of skills and talents which we don't often see in young men his age. He has a very bright future ahead of him, and I think we all can agree with that. So, well done. Excited to see what you do. So, awesome job.
Just to keep it going about Nathaniel is that he joined a group of students who were researching how to do solar power in our outdoor classroom. And so if you want to know the difference between lithium-ion batteries and lead-acid batteries for solar power, storing of electricity, Nathaniel is your man. All right. What's that? Yes, that's right, anything about ants, too. That's correct. The word polymath, look it up, because that's Nathaniel. All right, we're going to keep it rolling here, and I think, Mr. Helvey, are you here for Miss Johnson? All right, so Mr. Helvey is stepping in for Mrs. Johnson to talk about Sophie Manogura.
Good morning. I was so thrilled when Ms. Johnson wasn't going to be here today. I'm like, hey, I don't get to do this very often. So I'm here to introduce you to Sophie Manogura. And from just reading a little bit about what Ms. Johnson said about Sophie, I unfortunately have not had Sophie in class, but just to share a little bit, Sophie has been in art department since she was a sophomore, participating in art club, digital photography, jewelry classes, and ceramics. And Ms. Johnson went on to say, she stands out for multiple reasons. She's talented, and her work always surpasses expectations. The work she creates is thoughtful, creative, and well-crafted. She is an excellent problem solver. In addition, her metalwork earned her top honors in the IHSAE exhibit just recently. The other things that Ms. Johnson mentioned was what a pleasure it is to have Sophie in class as a student. She really adds to the atmosphere with her positivity, zen energy, thoughtful questions, and meaningful input. She was always up for a challenge and has explored multiple new techniques in advanced jewelry. She is hardworking and talented, and an excellent problem solver who always stays calm even when the problems are very challenging. So, congratulations to Sophie for being our May Student of the Month in the Art Department.
Staying calm when there are problems. Sophie, I need to learn from you because I don't stay quite as calm. Keeping it rolling with one of our LHS All-Stars, one of the greatest joke tellers on the planet. We are going to bring up the amazing Ms. Ahern to talk about Libby Karsten.
So this is Livy. Livy is a shining example of our true Wildcat. Things haven't always been easy for Livy, but she perseveres and comes out stronger than ever. She's driven and wants to succeed no matter what. Something that makes her truly special is she has the biggest heart of anyone I have ever seen, and the most contagious laugh. She's caring, kind, and such a great classmate to all the students in the class, and has made some really good friends throughout the entire building. And when I was talking about her winning this award, everyone, students, staff alike, couldn't stop talking about what an amazing kid she is and how sad they are that she's not going to be here next year. So I think that speaks volumes for you, Libby, and what an impact that you've made on our school. I'm just so excited to see what you have for your future, and I'm so proud of you and how far you've come. And I'm just so fortunate that I got to work with you this year. And to conclude, Livy has a joke for everyone.
Okay.
Here, come up here.
Okay. All right. What is a cow's favorite game? What do cows like to play a game?
What is a cow's favorite game?
Oh, you got it.
That's my sister.
You got it. Monopoly.
Every single day, Libby has a different joke. She is an encyclopedia of awesome jokes. All right. We are going to keep it going, and we've got the incredible Mrs. Dr. Khan. We've got the incredible Dr. Khan to talk about Bobby Calieris.
It is such a pleasure to be able to present this award to Bobby today. Bobby, you should know that there is some competition in the science department for this award for this month. A couple of seniors were put forward for the award, so the teachers had to get together and make a decision. And the other teacher who had put forward a student was Mrs. Owens, and upon hearing that I had put Bobby forward for the award, she completely agreed that it was appropriate for Bobby to receive this award, especially because she was the one who nominated you freshman year for this award. So this award comes as like a bookend to a successful and inspirational career here at LHS. As many of you may know, Bobby missed a lot of school first semester and had a lot of work to make up in our AP Environmental Science class, which is a tough class that combines a lot of different ideas from a lot of different areas. Not really an easy class to fall behind in terms of the amount of content that we cover over the school year. Bobby jumped right in with his review and trying to get caught up at the same time as balancing all of his other classes, getting caught up with all of his other classes, and staying current with the work as we moved forward in AP Environmental Science. I am in awe of the way that Bobby was able to catch up with our class and really shine as one of the top students in the class. And he did this all really on his own. You know, I pointed him in the right direction of how to access the materials for a class and what he needed to do, and he set up a schedule for himself and kept himself accountable for reaching that goal. So Bobby also fit right in with our class. He came in and, I can't even remember a time when you were not in class. Your sense of humor and your kindness really helps complete our first period class. Bobby is one of the first faces that I see in the morning because he comes in a little bit early. And it's just been a pleasure and an honor to be your teacher this year. But I wanted to also capture some of the other comments and ideas that his peers have shared with me and that his teachers have shared with me. Yeah, here we go. So I asked around, how is Bobby daring? So we're going to go with our acronym here, talking about D being a dreamer and a doer. This comes from one of your teachers. So being a doer and a dreamer, first of all, is taking action for ourselves and for the greater good. And one of your teachers said that Bobby's energy and commitment inspire his teammates to do and to be better. A peer talked about you being aware, aware for daring, seeking to understand experiences and the reality of others. A peer of yours said, Bobby is a good listener. He can use his humor and positivity to help cheer us up. R is for resilient, which is the word that your mom just chose to explain and describe you. One of your peers said, Bobby has always been a good example for the rest of us to follow. As hard as these last few years have been for me personally, it's overwhelming to think about the weight that Bobby has had to carry, and he's done it with such grace and positivity that it would be impossible for someone to guess about all the challenges that he's had to overcome. I for inquisitive, curious about the world's complicated past, present, and future. One of your teachers said, Bobby is curious about the world and asks really good questions that add depth of substance to our class discussions. N, being nimble, adapting to novel learning situations. One of your teachers said, Bobby was cheerful, willing to participate, and friendly even during e-school, which was much appreciated. His great personality and sense of humor even came through the screen via Zoom. That's not surprising. G, global, valuing diversity and working to understand others. The classes that Bobby has chosen to take during his high school years really reflect his desire to understand the world, collaborate, and build relationships. I looked at Bobby's transcript to see, what has he taken over the years? Classes like geography, psychology, sociology, preschool, AP Spanish, AP Environmental Science, all of these classes work to help Bobby develop this global perspective. Your teachers and your peers had more to say. I just am out of time. I'm getting the cane. So I will share with you the full list of comments that people had to say about how you've really inspired all of us to be better. So thank you, Bobby.
One other thing about Bobby is he and I have the same haircut because we were on a St. Baldrick's team, and we, with Bobby's leadership, helped raise $7,000 for pediatric cancer research. So. All right, so we are going to roll on here with the tremendous Mr. Thompson, who is going to talk about Jack Norris.
As a teacher, you would think that this would be easy to do because we talk in front of students and people all the time, but this is probably the most intimidating thing I ever do as a teacher. And I was thinking when Miss Bosman was up here, ooh, there's an idea, pretend like I don't have a voice. But I decided I better not do that. This is Jack. Jack, when he found out he had to come up here with me, he turned red. And he's still that shade right now. Jack has been in my class for 3 years, and I apologize for that. But he's been with me, and he's taken 3 of our Project Lead the Way classes, which is an engineering preparation program, Introduction to Engineering Design, Principles of Engineering, and now he's in Engineering Design Development, where they are creating a product from a problem. And now they're actually, he gets to stand up in front of a group of judges, engineers and others today to present with his group that product, which I was going to bring up here and I forgot to bring up here. But one thing that was very interesting to me is when his dad was talking about him. And in the engineering world, math, science, that type of field, sometimes you have people that are very focused on what they're doing. And one thing that I heard his dad say is empathy. And that's something that I would say that Jack has a tremendous amount of, which will definitely help him in his career choice, because that's something that I think is really needed in the field. And when he said that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's totally it. Jack has got empathy. That's not what I totally nominated him for. The main reason why I nominated him was I'm so proud of the leader he has become in his group. He's been with me for 3 years, so I've seen the growth in him. And the biggest area I've seen a growth in him in these classes is his ability to lead others. Always willing to help others and lead others, and that's one of the main reasons why I nominated him. I'm very proud of that in him. I told him I was going to keep this very short, so I'm going to end there, but there's so many other things I could say about Jack. Somebody else was saying that you had to fight. I had to fight. Seniors are somebody that, as all teachers know, seniors are somebody that a lot of teachers want to nominate seniors. And so you generally have several seniors that are nominated in your department, and then you have to go and fight for them. And this is, I don't usually win, but I was not gonna lose this time. And so I'm so proud to nominate Jack for this award. So congratulations.
Don't worry, students, I'll write you a pass. All right, we're going to keep it going. And now we have the tremendous Mr. Thomas to come up and talk about Laura Gomez-Ennis.
Before the school year started this year, days before students came back, I was standing in front of my classroom, and Laura was here on campus and was standing there while I was talking to another colleague, and I look over and she's just like smiling, looking at me, the smile you see right here, and I look over and I'm like, okay, this student whom I don't know wants to talk to me, so I introduce myself and she's like, I'm in AP Research, Mr. Thomas, I can't wait to start the school year with you, and right there from like on the first moment I met her, right, I knew there was a connection. But what I didn't know was how impressed I would be throughout this entire year with this amazing human being that you guys see next to me. Laura has a zeal about her, the way that she approaches everything that she does. In AP Research, students research a research question of their own choosing. From the beginning, Laura knew that she wanted to do something with psychology. She loves psychology and wanted to do something for her research question that would focus her entire year on that. She settled on a wonderful research question just recently presented, wrote a 5,000-word paper about it, and implemented an entire research project all year. One of the greatest things that I saw in Laura was that every time she ran up upon an obstacle, and there were many, she has an indomitable spirit. She came after that obstacle with positivity, not just perseverance, but positivity. Her gymnastics friends know that that's also true as a teammate as well. I love that Laura even like, Mr. Thomas, you want to watch my floor routine? She holds up her videos. And this zeal, this positivity, her work ethic, it's not just hers, she shares it with others as well. So certainly as her teacher, that is a joy, and it has certainly been throughout this entire year. So thank you, Laura.
I remember one of her first days freshman year, Laura and her best friend walked up to me, introduced themselves, and they've been my BFFs ever since, always checking in every day. The amazing Mr. Guillard is here, but unfortunately his student is not. But why don't you come up and still talk about your student, Madison Wilson.
So, my My name is Mr. Guillard, and this celebration in like April, May is one of my favorite because it's the senior one, and then it's like, okay, I choose my students, but it's like, Caddy is in my class, Laura is in my class, Nathaniel is in ping pong club, Bobby is in ping pong club. It's like, I know all of you, you are so awesome. And then I had an idea too this year because, with the past years, it was interesting years, and then it's like, can I name my 8th period? Okay, 5th is good too. But can I name like all of my 8th period because they could just all stand here. They are like a joy at the end of the day, and it's awesome. I have to pick someone, so I choose Madison. Because like many others, when I had to select someone, Madison was on top of my list. I had a chance to have Madison in class 3 of the last 4 years, and when we do that, it's really incredible. Just 2, just 1, but you are good too. So I first met Madison when she was in my French 2 class her freshman year. She was full of energy, full of enthusiasm for French. It was a pleasure to have her in class every day. Then Madison, like many others in this room, spent like 18 months of their sophomore and junior year at home, thanks to COVID. But I heard you are great on Zoom, so share the wealth with everybody else. So it was definitely a challenge for everyone, no doubt, with ups and maybe a couple downs. This year, I was extremely happy to see that Madison had decided to sign up for French 5. This year is almost over, and what really struck and amazed me is how Madison has been successful to overcome many challenges. Madison is back. She's smiling every day with an excellent sense of humor and mostly shows the same enthusiasm as French as when I met her 4 years ago. So, thank you, Madison. You are the living proof that speaking French every day is the solution to overcome most of our problems and to be happy all the time. Bon courage pour la suite.
Just learned apple a day keeps the doctor away, and speaking French every day makes you happy all the time. So love it. You can see why the teachers and the staff at LHS are happy all the time, because we get to work with these incredible students. We like to close this celebration on our daring mission. There's a quote from the great Maya Angelou that says, "Success is loving life and daring to live it." But we always close this session with another Maya Angelou quote, which is that, people seldom remember what you say, and they seldom remember what you do, but they never, ever forget how you make them feel. And these students are never going to be forgotten, because when they show up here every day at LHS, they make everyone around them just feel great and feel wonderful. So thank you, students, for all you do. Congratulations. And before we go, we have a couple things. So students, one more moment of awkwardness. We're going to bring you all over here we'll come over here. We'll come on up here. We'll take a big group photo. We'll let the parent paparazzi fill in and take some shots. And then everybody, we have this breakfast over here for you. Make sure you get it, because the student vultures are circling, and they're just waiting for the moment when they can come in and steal the rest of the food. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and go Wildcats!